Carrie, and this is Student Loan Chit-Chat. Thanks for joining me today. As the student loan money starts to pour in this fall, I do have something I would like to at least have young people going to college think about as they're taking on this student loan debt. And those are 6 reasons, and maybe I'll come up with the 7th, but 6 pretty good reasons I have as to why I do not think you should attend college, especially if you're taking on student loan debt to do it. So here's reason 1. You should not go to college and take on student loan debt simply because you want to leave the house. In other words, you are not interested really in going to school. You're really not interested in the major that you might, be telling people you want to take. Really, the underlying reason you want to go to college is you just want to get out of the house. You're tired of living at home. You're tired of rules, whatever. If that's the case, here's what I recommend you do. I strongly do not recommend you take on student loan debt to achieve that goal. Instead, I would possibly find a buddy or two that I could room with, kind of like dorm style living, just simply without the college. I would find myself a full-time job, and I would get out of the house that way. But leaving home through a college student loan, when you know you really don't have an interest in college, is only going to lead to heartbreak and potentially financial disaster or ruin down the road. Do not take out a student loan because you feel that is the only avenue out of a home situation you don't want to be in. I really think it can come to leave you some regret down the road. If you really just want out of the house more than you really want to go to college, it's okay to admit that. And it's okay to not go to college, simply move out, find a full-time job, maybe get some roommates, a roommate or two, until you figure out what you want to do. And perhaps down the road, college will be in your future, and maybe it never will. But you can still move out of the house, and you can do it without taking on a student loan debt, thinking that's your only way out. Another reason I don't think you should choose a college or go to college is because your friends are all there. It's very difficult to have been raised with a group of people, and some of us, we've been with the same group of people since elementary school, and you go through, in my case it was called junior high at the time, and then high school together. It can be very difficult to transition into that, sort of change of life from, secondary school, K through 12, and then to enter college. I have known people that chose a college strictly based on where their friends went. I would not recommend that. Again, especially if you're taking out a student loan to do it. Choose a college that matches your future. Choose a college that you and your parents, if they're able to assist you, that, choose one that you can afford. But do not choose a college strictly because your friends or the pack of people you grew up with are going to that school. Today, more than ever, there are ways to stay in touch with your friends electronically. So choosing a college simply because you're afraid to leave your social group, well, I wouldn't recommend that. And again, especially if student loans are involved. Another reason I would not choose a college is you think that college is a resort. You're going to find, if you are taking on student loans, that resort is going to potentially cost you 10, 15, 20, and some people even 25 years of your life and your income to pay for that 4 or 5-year resort visit. Do not go to college and take on a student loan because you think that is supposed to be 4 years of party, because you're going to regret that. Especially when you're holding down 2 jobs. You're possibly going to be working evening shifts. I can pretty much guarantee you're going to be working weekends if you're holding down 2 jobs. So don't take on loans or choose a college that you think is a party college, and that's really the only reason you're going. Let's see, I think we're on number 4. Number 4, do not go to college simply because you're trying to prove something to someone. And this is a tough one. That could even be parents. You're trying to prove to a parent that you feel has never, given you the respect you deserve, or you think looks down on you, or you're trying to prove to that classmate who never thought you were all that bright. In other words, you're going to college to prove something to someone else. Don't do it. Do not take out student loans because you're trying to prove something to someone else. The only reason you should be taking out a student loan, the only reason you should be attending that college is that's where your passion is. That's where you want to be. That's what makes you excited. You're going to find that the people you're going to school for to try to prove yourself to, they're not the ones paying your bill. When it comes time to pay that student loan, those people are going to be off in their own world, and I can pretty much tell you that they're not going to help you pay off that debt. Do not go into college debt simply because you want to prove to somebody else other than yourself that you really are all that, or that you really are capable of all that. Only go to college because that's where you want to be, and you want to prove it to yourself. And it doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks. And then finally, this one isn't meant to be negative, but it is something to think about that I think over the years has humbled me a bit. And that is going to college because somehow or another you think it makes you better than other people. Like somehow or another, if you have a higher degree, if you have more degrees, whatever, that somehow or another it's going to make you better than other people. I remember being in my early 20s. Actually, I'll move it down even younger than that. I'll say I remember being in high school. Okay, and I think I was about a senior year because I graduated from high school in 1985. And I remember really thinking, wow, college people are, really up there. We're kind of above everybody else. You know something I've learned, folks? You young people going to school? A degree doesn't make you better than anybody else. It just makes you perhaps qualified to work in a certain area with a certificate. And sometimes it's a certificate that other people wouldn't even need to have because they could also do the job. They just aren't holding the piece of paper that gives them permission to have that certificate or to have that degree. There are plumbers who make a whole lot more money than I do that have never stepped foot into a college and that certainly never racked up a student loan debt. Do not go to college because you think the title or you think the prestige of a degree is somehow or another going to elevate you above others. And that may seem so easy and obvious, like people would go, well, yeah, of course I know that. But sometimes when we are racking on the debt and we are pouring in the hours and hours of work and we're doing all of this, there is that little part of you that sometimes, but somehow or another, that's going to make me better. It's going to make me better than the next person. It doesn't make you better than the next person. Do not go to school because you think that degree is going to make you better than the next person. All it's going to do is give you perhaps, maybe, a different skill set. However, you have to remember there are people, especially now in 2022, all right, especially with this generation of young people. College is not what it used to be as far as affordability. So you have people who have never been to college. They hold no degrees, yet they are in financially way more attractive and way better positions than many, many thousands, tens of thousands, possibly even millions of people who have gone to school that are holding on to student loan debt. So it could actually be argued at this point in time that maybe perhaps they are above people who have been to college, that perhaps the people who have not been to college actually have something to brag about. So go to college because you want to go to college. Go to college because that degree fulfills you and it's your passion and it's inside of you. Not because of somebody else, not because of something external or extrinsic, okay? So if you find that, you enter college and you don't feel the passion and you wake up one day and you go, you know what, I'm really not here because I want to be here. I'm here because I'm trying to impress somebody. I'm here because my friends are here, okay? I'm here because I just wanted to really escape from home. I'm here because I thought it would elevate me somehow or another in society. I strongly urge you to look deeply and really ask yourself, are the student loans you're taking, the debt you're going to incur to get this degree, is this really where you want to put your effort? Is it really where you want to put your energy? Or perhaps should that degree be delayed? Doesn't mean you can't ever have it. But it might be that you're going to college for the wrong reasons. And you need to figure out, hopefully sooner than later, if you really are attending college for the correct reasons. I know people who have gone to college, left it for a little bit, and then gone back years later and had absolute success in it. But had they tried to stay and pushed through, they would have been going for the wrong reasons. So, anyways, just food for thought, something for you to think about, all right? I'm Carrie. This is Student Loan Chit Chat. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much. Have a good night.